the MS Shiner left South Florida just before sunset. She was an old but dependable ship, carrying passengers, supplies, and a crew bound for Colombia. Among the crew was Murphy. He was only a beginner deckhand, 6 feet tall, slim, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. He had never been far out into the Atlantic before, and he had no idea that this trip would be the last ordinary day of his life.
By midnight, the ocean had changed. The sky became black. The wind screamed across the deck. Then the captain received the warning. Hurricane Gladys had changed direction. The MS Shiner was directly in its path. The ship disappeared beneath walls of rain. Murphy grabbed a railing as the deck tilted beneath his feet. A wave crashed over the ship. Then another and another. The last thing Murphy remembered was the sound of metal twisting, followed by a flash of lightning. Then nothing. Murphy woke to the sound of waves. He opened his eyes. White sand, blue water, palm trees. For several seconds he thought he was dreaming. Then he tried to stand. His head throbbed. His clothes were soaked. His memory was almost completely gone. He looked toward the ocean. There was no ship, no lifeboat, no people, nothing. Murphy turned slowly toward the jungle and whispered the only question he could think of. Where am I? Murphy spent hours searching for another survivor. He found nothing, no houses, no roads, no footprints, not even a single piece of modern equipment. The island was beautiful, almost impossibly beautiful, but something felt wrong. The deeper Murphy walked into the jungle, the quieter everything became. No birds, no insects, no animals, only his footsteps. Then Murphy noticed something strange. The plants around him were growing in perfect circles. He pushed through the vegetation and stopped. There was a metal door built directly into the side of a stone cliff. Murphy stared at it. The door wasn't old. It was perfectly preserved. There were no hinges, no handle, only strange symbols carved into the metal. Murphy reached toward one. The moment his finger touched it, the entire door came alive. Blue symbols appeared across its surface. A deep vibration traveled through the ground. Then the door slowly opened. Murphy stepped backward. Inside was darkness, and from somewhere beneath the island, he heard a sound, a low mechanical heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. Murphy should have turned around. He didn't. He stepped inside. The floor suddenly disappeared beneath him. Murphy dropped, but instead of falling, he began descending. The elevator had no controls, no cables, no visible machinery. It simply carried him deeper into the earth, 100 feet, 200, 500, then the numbers disappeared. Murphy looked upward. The entrance was now nothing more than a tiny blue circle. Then the elevator stopped. The doors opened, and Murphy saw the impossible. The chamber was enormous, bigger than a stadium. Machines covered the walls. Transparent containers stretched into the darkness. Inside them were shapes. Murphy couldn't understand what he was looking at. Some looked like animals, some looked almost human, and some looked like nothing he had ever seen. He found a control panel. Most of the writing was impossible to understand, but one screen displayed something different, a language he recognized, English. The message read, Research Facility 7. Then another line appeared, Earth Specimen Program. Murphy's breathing stopped. He stepped closer. A list of dates appeared, thousands of them. Some were hundreds of years old, others were recent, very recent. The final entry had today's date.
A hologram suddenly appeared. Murphy jumped backward. A creature stood inside the projection, tall, thin, almost human. Its skin was pale and translucent. Its eyes were completely black. The creature spoke. Murphy couldn't understand the language. Then the machine translated it. The surface civilization has discovered the facility. Murphy froze. The recording continued. Evacuation failed. The hologram flickered. The specimens escaped containment. Murphy looked toward the enormous glass cylinders. Several were empty. Then the recording said something that made his blood run cold. If the facility detects a human survivor, the hologram turned toward Murphy. Do not allow it to reach the surface. Murphy slowly turned around. Nothing. The laboratory was silent. Then, clang! A metal door slammed somewhere in the darkness. Murphy backed away. Another sound. Clang! Closer. The lights began shutting off, one by one. Darkness swallowed the laboratory. Murphy's breathing became louder. Then he heard something breathing behind him. Slow, deep, almost human. He turned. Nothing. But on the glass in front of him, a handprint appeared from the inside.
Murphy ran. He reached another laboratory. This room was different. Hundreds of containment chambers surrounded him. Most were empty. Then he noticed something on the wall. A map, not of the island, of the Atlantic Ocean. Hundreds of red points covered it. Murphy stared. The points weren't islands. They were locations, research facilities all over the ocean. Then a message appeared. Facility 7, compromised. Another message appeared beneath it. Host detected. Murphy whispered, "Host?" The light suddenly turned green. Every containment chamber opened, one after another, empty, 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 until only one remained. The largest chamber in the room. Its glass was covered in frost. Something was moving inside. The frost slowly disappeared. Murphy saw two black eyes, then a face. The creature stepped forward. It was tall, far too tall. Its arms nearly reached the floor. Its skin was pale and translucent, and beneath its skin, something moved. Murphy couldn't move. The creature looked directly at him. Then it smiled, not because it was happy, because it recognized him. A voice suddenly came through the laboratory speakers. Specimen identified. Murphy's eyes widened. The creature tilted its head. The voice continued. Human survivor from MS Shiner. Murphy slowly backed away. Then the creature whispered, "Murphy."
Murphy ran. He didn't know how it knew his name. He didn't care. He ran toward the elevator. Behind him, something followed. He reached the platform. The doors opened. Murphy jumped inside. The elevator began rising. He looked down. The creature stood in the laboratory. It wasn't chasing him anymore. It was simply watching, smiling. As the elevator climbed, Murphy noticed something on the wall. A final message. Surface evacuation protocol activated. Then another message appeared. Island status. No longer unmapped. Murphy looked upward. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. He stepped onto the beach. The sun was rising. The ocean was calm. For the first time since waking up, Murphy felt safe. Then he looked toward the horizon. Something enormous was moving beneath the water. And behind him, deep beneath the island, the alien laboratory came alive. Hundreds of blue lights switched on, one after another, across the Atlantic. Other facilities began responding. Murphy wasn't stranded on an island. He had been brought there, and whatever had brought him was still watching. To be continued.